Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Pedro.
This is the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach.
Hi.
This is the Hi.
Do
you want to do it?
No, you can do it. It's
You
tradition.
sure? Do it.
You can do it.
Do it. You've never done it before. Do it.
Ooh, fuck. Okay. Hi. This is the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach. I'm Zach.
I'm Zach.
I'm Cabal.
God damn it, dude. This is the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pedro.
And this is the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach.
That felt a lot better.
It's just kind of repetition, doing it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't realize how hard it was.
You
make it look easy.
Starts to roll off the tongue a little bit. What's been going on, man? How was your week?
It's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Had a good morning. Got a lot of stuff done. Already told you about everything I got done. So
well, for our viewers, what all did you get done today?
Well, I woke up really early. I went to go get my hair cut, and I upgraded my phone through AT&T, and I forgot that I only had 10 days to bring my phone back. Today's day 14. So I called them, and they're like, yeah, we're going to charge you on your next bill for the remainder of the phone that's left. So then I go to my barber, and I was like, hey, what kind of phone you got? And he's like, oh, I have a 7 Plus. And I was like, hey, I got a 10S Max. You want to buy it? He goes, how much? I told him the price, and he goes, sure. And he Venmos me. So
just like that.
Yeah. So
problem solved.
Yeah. So that was really awesome. And I'm getting my oil change. You picked me up. Thank you for that.
Hey, man, you can always count on me.
You son of a bitch.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to help out my friends.
Zach's a great friend.
This week's been weird, man. I feel like there's always something like substantial or something crazy going on in the world to talk about, but I feel like this past week's been kind of quiet.
It definitely has.
You know, like anything like I'm trying to think back to anything that's like rubbed me the wrong way or completely pissed me off and infuriated me, but everything's been kind of cool the past week or so. Yeah, I mean, this day was, I woke up this morning, took a shower, and ended up going to pick you up. I mean, that's...
Did you listen to your usual soundtrack music while you were showering?
Not today. Usually there's...
Was it quiet?
It was. I didn't have any music playing. Usually whenever I shower in the morning, I don't want to wake up Robin, because she sleeps in pretty late. So I usually don't like to play music or anything like that, just so she can kind of relax.
Yeah. That's nice of you. I don't do the same thing for Katie.
No, you just blast fucking Blueface while you're taking a shower.
I come out with like a missing chromosome or an extra chromosome.
Ace, this coffee is delicious. Thank you. This is a very, very special episode today, everybody. It is our 13th episode that we've ever done, but it is also the last episode of season 1 of the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach. So the way that we're going to split this up, each season is going to have about 12 to 13 episodes. Realistically, it'll probably be 13. I don't know why I slipped the 12 in there. It's going to be 13 episodes per season. Yep. But yeah, I mean, we're still going to talk about different conspiracies and stuff. The past couple of episodes, we've been getting a little wild on you, just kind of going off script and just fucking around. But we really want to get back into our topics, like conspiracies and things like that, because that's the main reason that we do the show. It's fun to fuck around and cuss and fart and do all kinds of weird stuff, but we want to give you some quality content. So I was taking a massive dump the other day, and it was one of those ones that, like, when you're done and you're wiping, you're taking care of your business, you're wiping, and it just won't go away. You just keep getting stuff. It's like wiping the tip of a fucking marker. It's ridiculous. I had to get that out.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
I had one so big the other day that, like, a dump. That it was like hurting really bad.
Oh no!
And I had to like lift my legs up.
You know, a lot of the toilets, they aren't like sitting how you sit on a toilet. That's actually not how you're supposed to sit when you go number 2. Yeah. Like, it's actually very, very bad for your health to just sit and shit. I guess it's because, like, back in the day in history, like, you would actually just squat. Like, you didn't really have somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
So your legs need to be, for example, like, this is how you would sit on a normal toilet, and, like, you would do your business and stuff like that. You're still really, like, your muscles are kind of constricted in this position, so it's not a clean poop. You know what I mean? So one thing that, have you guys ever heard of a squatty potty? Squatty potty. That's that shit, dude. It's just a little platform you set up, put your legs up like this, do your business.
Yeah, speaking of the squatty potty, I went over to Rob's house the other day.
Rob Riley? Anchors up, Rob Riley?
Our best guest, only guest. And I came out of the bathroom and I was like, hey, your squatty potty doesn't work. I sat down and took a piss and it got over your shower curtain. And he goes, what? I was like, yeah, it doesn't work. You squat on it and go, right? And he's like, yeah, shit. He got really scared. He really thought I pissed all over his bathroom.
Oh my god. We miss you, Rob. We need to get him back here as soon as possible.
We should get him for the premiere of the next season.
Season 2, episode 1. What do you guys think? What do you just? I mean, if you follow.
Do you like Rob or do you hate him? Let us know.
Let us know. Whether it be on all the social medias or all that stuff, let us know.
Yeah.
And let us know what you want us to talk about next season. If there are any topics or anything like that just kind of get you hard, let us know what it is. You know. And
you guys know on our Twitch streams, if you want him to come back, drop the West Side emotes.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be on Twitch. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. You know, I'm just so happy to be here. There's such a good energy in the air. I just feel so close to my friends, all 3 of you. I feel like we've got such a good thing going on. I just couldn't be happier.
I'll tell you what, I just got an idea. Mm-hmm. I think for all you guys, I think after this episode's over, we should make like a compilation of our best moments from season 1.
That would be very cool. Very good to do. It's a good thing. That just so we can kind of hold you over. It's going to be a few weeks before we drop season 2.
We're thinking, 3-week break?
I think so. I think we'll take a 3-week break just to kind of catch our bearings, get a couple episodes under our belt. That way we'll give you guys enough time to miss us. But just keep following us on all of our social media and stuff like that. I think is it the 24th? The 24th is when the next episode will drop after this one. So this is episode 13. Episode 1 of season 2 will drop on October 24th. So,
yeah, and we're going to go into a more structured format and kind of get into the conspiracy more. This episode is more of like more like housekeeping. We're also going to go over a conspiracy a little bit later on, but we just want to update you guys on everything that's going on with the podcast and what direction we're gonna take it in. Yeah,
I mean, we planned on doing this for a while. However long we do it. It's so much time has gone by. It's crazy that we're already at the end of one season, like 13 episodes.
It's been a fun ride so far.
We're still rolling with it. So I mean, if you've been here from episode 1 or if you've been here from episode 12, like you're cool. Thanks for coming along and just hearing us bullshit and talk about random topics and conspiracies and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to keep doing it. So season 2 is definitely going to be us kicking it into a different gear, and we're going to go from there.
Yep.
But anything else been going on? Anything in particular?
No. I think we should get into maybe the current events. And
yeah, there have been some things going on. I mean, right now, October just started, so of course everyone's like, oh my god, a spooky season, blah, 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 I love Halloween, blah, blah, blah.
Are you not into that?
Christmas is so much fucking better than Halloween, but I can understand the Halloween hype. It's a fun holiday, I guess, if you're fucking 6. And people still, I guess, do the whole dress up and go to parties thing, so that's cool. guess.
You're actually doing that this year.
No, I'm not.
You're going to my party, so.
Oh, you're having a party? I'll go to your party. I'm not going to go to any other parties, though.
Are you going to dress up? Because it's a costume party.
You have to dress up or you can't. You can't. I keep doing blah, blah, blah.
You can still come.
I just have to dress up.
No, like, you don't have to, but.
Okay.
It'd be for the spirit of it.
The only character that I would want to dress up as is Doc Holliday from Tombstone. But I would have to, purchase a very expensive costume because the only ones available are like the authentic, real deal, like, and I would have to get real guns too. But
yeah, you got to do it big if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna be a party unless I actually blow someone away.
And you have to hire a hobo to kill.
Mm-hmm. No one's gonna miss him,
except for his hobo pals.
You know what is so weird to me? Whenever I see people on the side of the road with the cardboard, and they look like they just clocked out of their job. Like they look presentable. Like, and granted, everyone has their own crazy situations, but it's still so strange to me that some people, like, they can take really good care of themselves and they're still technically homeless and still standing on the side of the road in the blistering hot sun.
You know what I never got about those, like, the people that hold signs on the side of the road? Like, they could be making money holding a different sign.
Yeah, if they had like an actual
sign
spinning job.
It's like, I want to go to them, like, do you know you could get paid hourly, like a set wage, to hold a different sign?
I guarantee you that if I pretended to be a hobo for the day and I had like a long sign that said homeless, God bless, every little bit helps, and I like spun it around like those people, and like I was just hoboing it up, sa cha cha, I'd be like, holy shit, I'm gonna give that hobo money if he's doing hobo tricks.
I'd give you money.
I would give me money. I think I never thought about that. Like, why do the hobos are always just like?
Because they're probably depressed.
Yeah, well, I mean, turn that frown upside down if you're trying to get a nickel from me.
You gotta go up to a nickel. Turn that frown upside down, Charlie Brown.
You ain't gonna get this nickel.
They're like, I haven't eaten in 3 days. They're all just fucking
Go get yourself a piece of bubble gum, Stuart.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. So spooky season. I'm just so excited for it to start cooling down and for the weather to start getting really nice. I'm so sick of the heat, man.
Well, we gotta wait till like January here.
Yeah, and then we'll have like a week of cold, and then it'll start to get hot again.
I'll tell you what, though, the way you should look at it with like October and Halloween, that's like your appetizer, right? And then you got the first course of your meal. I already fucked this up. Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And then you got Christmas, which is the main course.
God, I can't wait.
That's a 3-course meal. Usually 5-course, but...
I mean, you got New Year's, too. And then my birthday on January 9th.
Oh, there we go. That makes 5, I think.
So, bam. And then Ace's birthday is December 22nd. So we've got a whole lot going on the next couple of months, ladies and gentlemen.
Mine's October 25th.
What? Gary, when's your fucking birthday?
August 31st.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I remember.
I was out of town. It's okay.
I remember. You're hanging out with your girl.
Yeah, it was.
In Miami.
More current events. Hockey season just started yesterday. Bam! So excited. Hockey's back. No one cares but me. So
I care for you.
I'm happy about that. Be happy for me, you know? Be happy for me. Be happy that I'm happy.
Lightning play.
No,
the Panthers
play the Lightning tonight.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance to speak my piece since we started doing this podcast. Fuck the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hard. Fuck them. If you're a fan, that's so cute. It's so cute that you're a fan of them. It's so cute.
You know who else is a fan?
Who?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey was actually a fan of the Florida Panthers.
Good thing he's not anymore.
Yeah.
He jerked off a guy in a bar or something.
A few seasons ago, he actually came to a Panthers game and was like on the Jumbotron and stuff like that. And the Florida Panthers online shop had this blue hoodie that they put out that had like a picture of space and then Kevin Spacey's face on it. And it was like the Spacey in Space shirt. That did not age well. That did not age well.
But he's a Lightning fan now, so
Yep, I guess he's a Lightning fan now.
he's your burden now.
See you later, losers.
Sayonara.
Sayonara!
Now on to more sports news. Gardner Minshew, the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, was named the Offensive Rookie of the Month.
What?
He's doing big things. It's Minshew Mania right now. They're making all the shirts there.
He's got the
blowing
big
up.
stash, right? Everyone's just freaking out about it.
Yeah.
It's good for the city, man.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's like into it. He's actually really good, right? So through his, what's he at, 3 starts now, I believe? He's got 7 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Mm-hmm. And his passer rating, I think, is top 5 in the league. And his completion percentage, get ready, is 69.420%.
No way.
I swear to you.
No way.
I swear to you.
That is so
Hey,
awesome.
please pull it up. I need him to see this. Look up Gardner Minshew passer. Yeah. So yeah, when it's filled out, it's 69.420.
Wow.
Yeah. The guy's a beast.
The guy's a legend.
He's
He's
fucking
already a
legend.
legend.
He's already a
I'll
legend.
have you know. It was about 2 weeks ago. We got cable. So I've been watching football. I've been watching football every chance I get.
What do you think?
I missed it, man. I haven't had cable since I was a kid. I was a really big fan of football. And then I just kind of went away from it. But I've been watching it a lot lately, and Robin's like, who are you? But it was weird, though, because, like, growing up, we only had the public channels, poor, because, I think it was only channel 4 or something like that. So whatever, we were at the mercy of whatever was on that channel. But I guess you could say that I'm a Jaguars fan. I guess you
Yeah.
could say it.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'd be down to go to a tailgate sometime.
Wait, Zach in a circle up.
You're off weekends, right?
Yeah, I have weekends off now. I got cable. I watch football. I feel like a new man, dude.
I'm proud of you, man.
I feel so good about where my life is right now, where this podcast is. Just, I feel great about everything, man. You know? I feel
You
good.
look great too.
Thank you. I've been working hard. My body is a temple. So I haven't even been eating anymore.
Okay. I'm trying to be nice to you today.
We're turning over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Pedro, put your hand on mine.
Oh, sorry.
We're turning over a new leaf. We've decided that the past couple of weeks we've been horribly nasty to each other. And
Just vile.
if you listened to the last episode, I think it was episode 12, it ended on an extremely, extremely bad note.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary wasn't even here for it, so he has no idea how it went down.
Gary was bad.
I just want to say that no one got hurt. There was no video, so you really, I don't want to try to explain or help you visualize what happened. But
Especially at the end.
yeah, it got very intense.
It sounded like you were beating me off.
Yeah, it was on Ace's Instagram story. So if you did see that,
I'm gonna let go now.
okay.
Okay.
Fact of the matter is we're changing it up, guys. We're not gonna be at each other's throats as much as we were. We really want to just do our job and bring you the content that you come back here for every week.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and take a break to do an ad. We're going to do an ad read, and then we'll be back to talk about our conspiracy theory of the day, which, just to kind of hold you off until then, it is Giants. And I'm not talking about Eli Manning, Michael Strahan, football people.
He's a football guy now.
I'm a football guy now. You know, what can I say? What can I say?
You love to see it.
But we're going to take a break, do an ad read, and then we're going to come back and discuss Giants in North America. Here at the Coffee Cabal, we currently do not have any rock-solid sponsors, so we need you to sponsor the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach.
Please.
Please, someone, help us out. We want to read about your product out loud on the air. We want to get the word out for you, to get the word out for us. It's a win-win for both sides, folks. Cheetos, Mattress Firm, we're looking at you. Someone, for the love of God, sponsor this podcast.
Domu.
Anyone.
Brass Tacks. 8103.
What's 8103?
Great clothing brand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anyone. Anchor's up.
Anchors up.
Anchor's up. I'll call Rob right now.
Call Rob.
I'll call him right now, dude. What the fuck? Why didn't we think of this?
We might have a sponsor.
Didn't answer.
He's at work.
Well, we're not going to get a sponsor this week, folks, but we might at the beginning of season 2. So reach out to us. If you have a company that you want us to just give you a shout out for, you don't have to pay us. You don't have to pay us at all. But we'll talk about your product. We'll talk about your company on the... We'll paste it up here on the wall. We'll do whatever you want us to do. Just, we want to get serious about this. So help us help you. And we are back to the Coffee Cabal with Pedro and Zach. About to dive into our topic of the week, which is giants. Pedro, what do you just at face value, like just from the outside looking in, inside of a peanut shell, from your mama's basement, what do you think when someone says giants?
Big boys.
Big boys. Do you think that, because we have people that are tall
Yeah.
in this day and age, like taller than average.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone were to say, yeah, I think that thousands of years ago there were 20-foot tall people walking around, like what would you say to that?
I would say I'd be doubtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask why you say that?
I just don't know how we would shrink so much over time.
Yeah.
So, the tallest anyone's ever been was 8 foot, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, how did we get so much smaller?
Yeah, that makes sense. I've done a lot of research on it this past week, just because what I found, there was a lot of any type of conspiracy theory or topic. There's going to be just as much disinformation as information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that you always have to take at face value when it comes to things like this. But that's a good stance to take. That's a question that needs to be asked. If there were people that were 3 times the size of the average man, how did we get to where we're at, if that were the case?
Yeah. So what did you find?
So there's so, whether it be biblical times, there's been so much historical record about giants that's what I found, and I did a lot of research into different newspaper articles in the 1900s, town and county histories, different word of mouth stories and things like that. Well, the one thing that really caught my eye was just how many newspaper stories there have been over time. But what I'm going to do, because there's seriously so much information on this, I can't cram it into one episode. So I'm going to try to condense it into at least kind of a 15-20 minute spot. I'm just going to primarily focus on giants here in North America, all the things that I've found over time. But I've got my trusty book here with some of my notes. And you said, 8 feet? That seems like the tallest that you would think of. There was, let me see. Yeah, there was a king in Rome. He was actually related to Caesar, Maximinus Thrax Caesar. He was 8.5 feet tall.
Wow.
8.5 feet
Damn,
tall,
that's
and that
really
was
tall.
like on record. I mean, granted, I say on record, but over time, from then to now, there's so much that could be like exaggerated or things like that. And then, of course, you have the biblical story of David and Goliath.
Yep.
Where I think it's weird because there are a lot of different interpretations of the Bible and different interpretations of the stories and things like that. But apparently Goliath was 10.5 feet if you do the math and add it up. One thing that really jumped out to me, there was a character in the Old Testament in the Bible named King Og, O-G, King O-G. Apparently, this dude was about 12, 13 feet.
Shit.
And that's something that they noted well. And one thing that really stood out to me about this particular character is King Og is a giant who is a king who stood about 12 to 13 feet. He's a character in the Bible. He's a character in the Talmud. I think that's... I can't remember which religion that is exactly. And then in the Quran, there's a character named King Og who is considered a giant, taller than your normal average man. So, I mean, whether it be religion or just different things that have been passed down throughout history, there was always tales of giants in the stories. The Talmud is of the Jewish faith. It's basically the Jewish Bible, essentially.
So I got one doubt already.
Yep.
So people back there were historically like shorter, right? Like back in those times, like there wasn't like, you know, GMOs and foods and all that. So people were typically shorter.
Over the past couple thousand years, the average height of man, I think it's been 5'5" to like 5'11".
Yeah.
That's usually kind of the average, roughly. But
So what I'm saying, what if like they were just like really short,
mm-hmm.
and then the guy was maybe, you know, 8 feet,
yeah.
and then maybe it just looks bigger.
Well, I mean, they still had like units of measurement and things like that to
Back in like Roman times.
yeah to like base that off of. Like that was the case. One thing that really like, because the main thing that I did was I just went down the line, different things like where is it? Oh, here we go. Back in 1870,
mm-hmm.
and this is actually, if you could, Ace, switch it to one of the pictures over here. Other one, that one. Is there any way you could zoom in to that? I want Pedro to read it. This is a newspaper article from 1870. Okay, and just read it.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Oh, okay. Fuck, it's like a novel. The Oil City, Pennsylvania Times is responsible for the following. On Tuesday morning... What does that say?
Last Tuesday morning. They just talked weird back then.
Okay, on
On Tuesday morning last.
On Tuesday morning last, while Mr. William Thompson, assisted by Robert R. Smith, was engaged in making an excavation near the house of the former, about half a mile north of West Hickory. This does not translate well. Preparatory to erecting a derrick. What is this?
Okay.
I'm not going to read it. Just tell me the
All right,
gist.
look,
Cause
I'll do it. They exhumed an enormous helmet of iron, which was corroded with rust. This is in West Hickory, Pennsylvania. They were doing an excavation, and they found an iron helmet in the dirt. Okay? Further digging brought to light a sword, which measured 9 feet in length. Curiosity incited them to enlarge the hole. And after some little time, they discovered the bones of 2 enormous feet. Following up the lead they had so unexpectedly struck, in a few hours' time, they had unearthed a well-preserved skeleton of an enormous giant. And basically what they did is just kind of lined it all up, tried to determine how tall this skeleton would be exactly. And I think it says down here, when his giant ship was in the flesh, he must have stood at least 18 feet high. And this is a newspaper article from 1870. It could just as easily be fucking bullshit.
like the mermaid monkey.
Just like the mermaid monkey. But there's so many articles just like this. Like, there were so many that I couldn't even write them down. Like, just and notate. So many articles over time. And one thing that not a lot of people know of, dude. Let me see.
What's a derrick?
That I don't know. They talked really weird back then, man. It's such a different time. Like,
and I feel like it started making sense like when you started reading it.
Yep. I took over at the easy part.
Erecting a derrick. I'm like, okay, what the fuck does derrick mean?
Who's Derek?
It's like a crane.
Oh, it's a crane.
It's
Okay.
like a kind of crane, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people know this, though, but there are a lot of Native American tribes in North America. Their legends talk of giants ruling the continent before they did. Like back before their forefathers, before like modern day Native Americans, their legend is all of their forefathers all the way back thousands and thousands and thousands of years before they were rulers of the land belonged to giants. And that's like a part of a lot of their legend and lore.
Did they get into like how they're small enough or like anything like that?
Well, no, it's people like your average, like it's a different species essentially.
Okay.
Because like the way that it was described and like in the legends and things like that, there were still people of average height, but there were also people that were 2 times, 3 times.
So it's kind of like how we have little people now.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, like, that's one thing, like, you hear about all the Native American mounds and things like that, all the burial mounds and things like that. According to the legend, that's where a lot of the giants were buried, in places like that. But there was a law that was passed. It's the NAGPRA, the Native American Graves and Protection Act, I think that's what it is, but it basically protects those places from being disturbed or dug up or things like that. One thing that was really troubling, though, is while I was doing all this research, I was like, wow, cool, there are all kinds of legends and lore about giants walking around the Americas just as far back as we've been walking around the Americas. We being Native Americans because they were here before the white man. So all of these newspaper articles and eyewitness accounts and town and county histories and things like that, they all had something in common. Whenever these bones were recovered, and at this point it's all hearsay because no one knows where the bones are, they were sent to the Smithsonian Institute. Do you know what the Smithsonian is? It's just, for anyone who doesn't, it's not just a museum like the Ben Stiller movie. It's like a collection of museums and research centers. I think there's like 13 different museums within the Smithsonian. So it's a really like a big deal of an organization, the Smithsonian Institute. But apparently, anytime these bones were found, they were immediately sent to New York, sent to the Smithsonian. And for a long time in the early 1900s, they had these bones on display, which is why you see things like that, those old pictures. All those bones on display and things like that. But what ended up happening is, let me see. So despite all these pictures, despite the newspapers saying that it was sent to New York, sent to the Smithsonian and things like that, if you look it up today, the Smithsonian claims that those skeletons don't exist and that they were never there. They were never in any of the museums or anything like that.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And what they basically say is, those things never existed. We never had them here. And even if they were, they would be protected by the NAGPRA, so we wouldn't have anything to do with that. We wouldn't touch it with a 100-foot pole. So just to kind of put all these pieces together, and let's just take everything at face value as if it's the truth, okay? There are giant skeletons scattered throughout the country, buried in mounds. We've probably built malls over them. For all we know, they could be so deep in the ground. But they've all been sent to this one place, this one institution, this one place who I guess is the boss when it comes to this type of thing. And they start destroying them. And the only way that I can think that would make sense is think about what it would do to our timeline of human evolution and our timeline of humanity and advanced civilizations if we were to say, hey, actually, before the Native Americans were even here, there were people that were 3 times our size that had just as advanced civilizations as we do.
That would redefine everything.
Yeah, they would have to completely rewrite the book. They would also have to level the playing field with Native Americans and say, like, because I know that the American government has owned up to what happened to an extent.
Yeah.
But they would have to basically rewrite the history books. And that's just something that I don't feel like is the status quo with anything.
Yeah, like they don't want to do that.
I'll end it on this. I did so much research trying to validate what I'm about to tell you, but there are so many articles that talk about it, but I can't find any actual record of it. But I'm still going to say it regardless. So, according to Google, there was a U.S. Supreme Court ruling. There was actually a court case between the Smithsonian and I can't remember exactly what organization. I guess it was just a collective group of people that were trying to blow the lid off of it and say, this isn't the truth. We want to know what happened to the bones. What happened to the bones? And the Smithsonian, in this court case, they had everything that they needed to get off of getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Not like they had everything that they needed to side skirt it. It was a non-issue. But apparently, in the middle of this court case, there was a guy who worked as a high-level curator for the Smithsonian in the 1930s. Excuse me. That stole a giant femur from the Smithsonian while he worked there and kept it and hid it like his whole life.
How do you steal that?
I don't know. But apparently that femur ended up showing up in the court case, which caused the Smithsonian, they forced the Smithsonian to admit that they, in the early 1900s, they destroyed hundreds of thousands of giant skeletons. And when I say giant, I'm not talking about just like 20 feet or 25 feet. I'm talking about like seven, like the majority would be like 7 to 9 feet. That's still technically considered a giant.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, when it comes to the burial mounds, there used to be hundreds of thousands of burial mounds scattered across the country. We're down to, I think, in between 1,000 and 2,000 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just imagine like what has been removed, what has been destroyed that we'll never really know, or is it like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull movie where they have this huge warehouse just full of giant bones just sitting there?
Yeah, maybe they're not destroyed.
Yeah. Everything that I even tried looking at like Supreme Court cases and stuff like that. I could never find anything with the Smithsonian Institute. So realistically, this is probably just a cool story to think of. But at the same token, like, there's so much of our history, and there's so much that has happened on this planet before us that anyone in a position of power or a position to have that knowledge, I doubt that there's any way that they would let the public get a hold of it. So for all we know, man, I mean, we have like random really, really tall people in here, but if you think about it, if there were giants running around, they would eventually be seen as a threat. Whether or not like average sized humans kind of banded against them, because that's a whole different story that I want to dive into at some point in the future, because according to a lot of Native American tribes, they weren't nice. It was like Attack on Titan, essentially. Like, regular-sized humans against giants, and giants would fucking eat people and stomp them and stuff like that. And like they had to. I mean, they were still so revered and respected because it's just like a colossal like miracle in terms of how it happened. But I don't know, man. That's the stuff that gets your brain moving. That's the stuff that we love to talk about, man.
Super interesting.
But we definitely, I want to come back to the Giants at some point in season 2.
I feel like we need a part 2.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, this is just strictly in North America. Just all the accounts that
from what you're saying, there's a lot more. You're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like an intro.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. We really want to get serious about diving into these topics, do our research. That way we can put everything out on the table, and I can decide, you can decide, you guys can decide, you can decide what to make of it, what you think about it. So I think that's going to be a good spot for us to wrap up for the day. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Cabal Podcast. Like and subscribe us on Apple Podcasts and YouTube. It's definitely going to be airing there. Give us some 5-star reviews. That's the best way to get the word out for us. Any when in November is
November 8th.
November 8th.
November 9th, we're performing.
November 9. Gary's dance group is performing. Get on in here, Gary.
Hey
Let's
guys.
get that shout out.
Go ahead, plug it. Plug it, dude.
So this is Gary.
This is Gary, the cameraman.
The cameraman. The man behind the scenes, making the magic happen.
This is weird.
It's different, huh? It's kind of intimidating when you're sitting on the couch.
A little bit. So yeah, my crew, Reckless Dance Crew, were performing in Miami.
It's cool, dude. Keep going.
I feel like I'm on a casting couch or something.
What's that?
What?
What's that?
I don't know.
I never heard of it.
But we're performing at World of Dance Miami. We are kind of fundraising because it is kind of expensive to go there, but we just want support. It doesn't matter. We don't need
how
money.
can people support?
We have a link for a kind of like a GoFundMe type thing. It's like a collective funds. Yeah, it's probably up here somewhere. But we would appreciate any support, and yeah, that's all.
We'll have the link in the YouTube video. We'll find a way to get it on one of the Instagram stories.
Yeah.
For the podcast. But yeah, anything you guys can give to that would be great for Gary. Dancing, it's his passion. So maybe also gonna get them there and get some support for them.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna go ahead and leave it at that, guys. Thanks again, Gary, for plugging. You ain't going anywhere, baby.
Oh God.
Sitting
You're
right
closing
here
it
with
out.
us.
All right.
But yeah, anything else that you guys want to leave with our viewers? Any words of wisdom or anything like that?
Can you tell them about Twitch?
Oh yeah, streaming Peggle 3, Twitch.
Yep.
And also
We got the new DLC.
Yeah, we did. There's airplanes now.
Yeah. So next episode, season 2,
Yep.
is going to be October 24th. So keep an eye out for that. We're gonna just brainstorm, look for sponsors, and just get all this rolling. Take it to the next level.
We're gonna really pump through season 2, bring you guys some good content. But yeah, I mean, if I could leave you guys with one thing, words to live by, it's this: the only thing worse than someone who does a bad Russian accent and tries to be funny is a person that does a good Russian accent and tries to be funny. Just stop doing it.
Never mind. And I also want to say thank you to Gary and Ace for and Zach for just being awesome partners in this. Like I've had so much fun with you guys, and it's been a hell of a first season. It's been an awesome ride.
Season 1 has been great. We're gonna keep doing this, guys. This is a really cool thing, and if you've been along the ride, thank you. But yeah, we'll see you guys in season 2. Stay frosty.